So, very good afternoon to one and all present here on this occasion of the knowledge sharing session series that is being organized by the prestigious organization AIMS. I, Professor Dr. Vijayalakshmi Shrinivas, Director of Modern Institute of Business Management in Pune, take this privilege to welcome all the honorable members, participants on this platform, that is Zoom, as well as the session is being shown live on YouTube. I'm extremely also honored to welcome the resource person for today's knowledge sharing session, Mr. Vinod Bidwaik sir. Before he takes over, let me introduce you to the prestigious AIMS, who has taken the initiative for organizing such sessions that provide a platform for discussions, information, and knowledge sharing on very important topics. The Association of Indian Management Schools, AIMS, was founded on the 27th of August 1988, and it has a strong support of about 550 high-ranking B schools as its members and is one of the largest networking bodies in the world. AIMS has been involved in protecting the interests of management institutions from professionalization of management education, creation and dissemination of management-related knowledge through various activities that it conducts, right from the roundtable discussions for deans, directors, to the faculty and student development events, organizing conventions, national, international level seminars, workshops, publications of AIMS journals of management, funding of research projects, and financial assistance. Every week, AIMS organizes such knowledge sharing sessions, and it is indeed a grand initiative of AIMS to organize such sessions that help in connecting, having a discussion leading to exchange of information and knowledge, thus helping individuals and the institutions to perform better, become stronger professionals. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to AIMS for giving an opportunity to me to be a part of such knowledge sharing sessions. At the outset, let me introduce you to the resource person for today's session, Mr. Vinod Bidwaik sir. Mr. Vinod Bidwaik sir, he is a global HR leader with more than 20 years of experience in HR, with 15 years of leadership experience in big Indian and multinational industries such as the manufacturing, media, automobile, life sciences, material sciences, machine equipment companies, etc. He is currently working with the Alfa Laval Cluster India, Middle East and Africa as CHRO and Vice President HR. He is a management team member, CSR committee member of Alfa Laval India. Prior to this, he was working with DSM India Private Limited as a director HR and was a part of India management team of DSM India. Mr. Vinod Bidwaik has extensively worked in the areas of organization redesign, organizational development, HR transformation, new way of working, employee experience, talent management, talent development, development centers, etc. He also worked at Shanghai, Singapore, Netherlands. He previously worked with Mahindra and Mahindra at their engine plant as a head HR and IR, Semperit Group as plant HR head, and Sakal Media as a chief manager corporate HR. He has an expertise working on greenfield projects and establishing HR functions. He has also authored several Marathi books, naming a few: College to Corporate via Interviews, Swayam Vikasachi Swayam Prerna, Vyaktimatva Vikasacha Collage. He has also authored English books, Password to the Enriched Life, and holistic approach to employee engagement and vitality in human resources. He is also a recipient of prestigious Asia Pacific HRM Leadership Award in 2014, given at the Asia Pacific HRM Congress held at Bangalore. Along with that, Vibrant Gaurav Puraskar 2016 by the Vibrant Group Association of HR Professionals in Pune, and several other recognized awards. He is also among the 101 top HR minds declared by the National HRM Congress and Most Agile HR Leader 2021. Recently, the CE Worldwide awarded him the Leadership Award in Professional Excellence in Human Resource Innovation, Human Resource Analytics, and Human Resource Management. Academically, he has a strong base as a microbiology graduate with a master's in personnel management, as well as a diploma in production management and a strategic HRM management program from the IIM Ahmedabad. He is also a life member of Bombay Management Association, NIPM, NHRD, a regular column writer in English, Marathi dailies. So, a rich resume. We are all fortunate to have such an eminent resource person to share his views, sir. We welcome you, sir. The theme for today's session is future of work. So, workplaces in future, they're expected to be more diverse, distributed and virtual than ever before. Big organizations as well as the smaller ones, they will learn to adapt in order to cater to the shifting employee expectations in the wake of post-pandemic new normal and several behavioral trends, the new technologies that seem to usher in these changes. There are new terms, there are new trends that are setting in. Keeping a balance between these expectations of flexibility and the need of the accountability will be a key challenge that the employers and the managers they face. So without taking much time, I request Mr. Vinod Bidwaik, sir, to take over and enlighten us about the developments, changes, and challenges. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Vijayalakshmi and AIMS, for inviting me here to speak to the academicians. Very rich experience in academics. I can see the participants, and perhaps there are so many things they are contributing to the academic society and overall the development of the country. So first, thanks for inviting me here. Thank you, ma'am, for a very good introduction. Thanks for that. I tried so many things in my career, so I always think that it is very important to try our potential, but also take some steps to explore which we never tried. And that's why every year I take some challenges to try some few new things like writing, reading. Of course, that is there, but apart from that, photography and so many things I did my career, and that's why. Thanks for introducing all these things. I have a rich experience into that. But still, I think I am in a learning situation where I always try to learn new things. And I'm sure that today also I will get some opportunity to learn while interacting with you. We have around 1 hour, but I will try to present this within 45 minutes, and we will have, we are going to discuss about the future of work. And first, I am thankful to the AIMS and Dr. Ganesh Rao, who actually asked me to speak on this future of work, and specifically Dr. Vijayalakshmi ji for introducing me things. But one important aspect I always speak that future is already there. So future is nothing, or future of work consists is of just learning of living. How we learn and how we actually live the life. And this is not a new phenomenon, because the human race, or we human, are very much flexible and adaptable to adjust with the new situation, new circumstances, or the whatsoever technological thing. But there are major challenges I would like to speak about, and those are, we always heard, and perhaps you must have heard in 1980s, this terminology was coined as a word. volatility, the high rate of change, uncertainty, we're unclear about the present situation. There are a lot of ambiguity, not only in the world, but also in your day-to-day jobs because of the lack of clarity about the lack of situation, and you don't know what will happen to that. And of course, there are multiple key decision factors when you take any decision. So complexity is also there. And the life is not simple, and not also the businesses and the situation is simple. I think our personal, professional, social, or even as a citizen, we have a lot of struggles, we have a lot of challenges. But one of the good part of us is that we try to adjust and we try to learn from those circumstances. The Darwin said that, and this quote is about, you must have heard about that famous quote that it is not about the change itself, but about the ability of the human being to adjust with the circumstances. That's actually is the where species are dynamished during the situation. But it is not about that. It's about actually how differently we actually deal with the situation. Hookah word is there now. The discussion is going about the Bani word, where moreover it is the situation is brittle. There are a lot of anxious, anxious situations. It is not actually a similar thing or linear thing, but it is non-linear, and it is about uncompressible, where we need a different status. Now, of course, these are buzzwords, hookah or Bani. The situation doesn't change much. Still we have that altitude, or I will say that magnitude we need to work on, where we can actually adapt to the new situation. So the future is already here. It just unevenly distributed, because if you see the pace of the changes happening, what we are today, and the rate of learning, the rate of for the people, what's happening today, or from pager to mobile, and if we see the industrial revolution, there are so many changes. So there are certain things we are already living with. That future is already there. For example, today we are sitting in a virtual room. Everybody knows even that where we are, because we are tracked through our mobile phones. We have a lot many things where our privacy is at stake. There are a lot many things. Automation and digitalization is already happened. In India is the largest country where you can see a lot of digitalization happening compared to Europe and other countries. Specifically, this digital currency or digital, Paytm and GPay is the phenomenal growth. What's happening in India? Even I travel different countries, I not seen that much adaptability of the technology in other countries. So we can say the future is already here. It is just unevenly distributed. But let's understand there are certain trends. What are those impacting our work and workforces specifically? So there are 4 types of trends, and let's discuss about one by one. Global trends. So everybody is speaking today about the climate change and sustainability. There are organizations who have their goals on United Nations sustainability goals, and every company is working strongly on those areas. There is a longevity. So the aging population is a major problem, and even few countries are actually encouraging that they should have more children. One of the benefit for India is, of course, we have a young country where we have a lot of population, but then the other countries are facing that. And aging population also means that the people need to work more after the retirement and start earning. Of course, unemployment is major issue in most of the countries, but we in India have that things. As our privacy, our private life has threat, because cyber threats are there, and we have seen lot many things happening. Our income disparity is richer are becoming richer, poorer are becoming poorer, but also the gap between new rich and middle class is actually widening. And of course, there is major awareness about health and benefits and wellness. After COVID, that is major awareness is happening. What are the technological trends? Digitalization, we all know. Online marketing and sales is becoming our daily habit now. So we don't go in a shopping malls, and most of the things is available on the mobile phone, and there are good big deals there. Big data, I think we have a lot many things to handle that, where it's scary sometimes. Cloud computing, customer experience, and of course the increase of social media, where everybody in the society is There are different narratives are set up, and people are actually framed. If I speak about, how the narratives are created by the social media, news, media, and all these things aspects. So it is very necessary to be cautious there. These two trends majorly having the impact on the workforce trend, and that's how the workforce is then. What's happening? Gig economy and rise of freelancers. Earlier, I remember that when we started career, we were looking for the permanent job. Then at least it was started for last 5 to 6 years where there used to be a permanent jobs. But now it is totally changed. The people are working 6 months, earning a lot of money and enjoying their life. So I have a few examples where freelancers are working with us. Gig economy, we have already seen this in like Uber, Ola, or our delivery apps, Zomato, Swiggy. That is nothing but a gig economy. So they are working as per their convenience to different companies. And this will also come in the white collar. There are already this gig economy started in certain white collar jobs, which are specialized jobs. So those people are not working on one company from different companies. Millennial and generation chat. So the student who are today, they are taking the role. Millennials is now old term, but now the Zub generation, the next generation is coming into the workforce, and their expectations are totally different because they don't have that much aspirations. Like if you take the example of millennials or generation Y, their aspirations were to have a material position, like their homes, big houses, vehicles, and all this material position. But generation Z, they don't have a aspiration because already their parents and their family members have created the wealth for them in most of the cases. So their aspirations are totally different. They have the totally different expectations from the organization and from the society at large. The organization is becoming complex because working in a multi-generation, multi-demographic, and multi-gender, diversity and inclusion is the major things where a lot of people are working in the organization, and that's why the different skill set needed. Like for example, if I take my example, for last 10 years, I am working with different generation. So there are college students who are joining us. There are different people in the society who are joining us as a freelancer. And also we have a X generation who are on the verge of retirement, or Y generation, and the people who are in mid 50s or 45, 15 generation. And their expectation and their way of working is totally different. So we need to fine tune those strategies, adjust the frequencies while working with them. Flexi time is because nowadays people are expecting that more work-life balance. We used to work this terminology, but now instead of work-life balance, it is work-life integration. So it is not about working 8 hours and not doing personal job in the working things, but it is also working from home or working from the office, but we are actually integrating with that, and that's happening in most of the organization. And of course, the organizations are becoming superstructures. So it means that there are no hierarchies. For example, for the sake of convenience, we report somebody else, but we have to get the job done from different people in the organization. And we need to understand the meta knowledge which is available in the organization, to whom we need to approach, what sort of job they can help us to do. All these things is changing. So I will say it is not only web, but also the superstructure organizations. Take an example where the sales manager working in the B2B company who is selling the equipment to the oil and gas company, he need to understand that, but not necessarily in detail he may be aware about that. So he has to go to the product and application or technical person there and understand, make a quotation, take the help from somebody else from the globally, and give the proposal to the customer. So that needs a very strong networking and influencing skill in the organization itself. Not only influence the customer, but also the influence the internal stakeholders that why this proposition is necessary. And then, so of course, there are different workplace trends, which is actually changing the totally demography and the narrative of the workforce. That is virtual workplace. And normally, I always give the example of the WhatsApp joke. Normally, you also must have read that the question is asked, who actually implemented the digitalization in the organization? Is it CEO? Is it CTO? Or is it somebody else? But it is not both of them. It is just the COVID has accelerated the digitalization. So COVID has implemented that. And that's how the virtual workplace is becoming dominant in the workplace. Now the situation is happening that the employees who are not ready to come in the office because they are so much comfortable working in a virtual workplace and virtual work from home. Mobility in terms of talent going in different locations, cross country movement of the talent, activity based workspaces. So if you visit our office, you will say that our office is activity space. And there is a hot desking concept where there are no dedicated offices, there are no dedicated cabins are assigned. There are a lot of collaborative spaces for the project team. They sit together, a lot of fun in the offices. Of course, co-sharing. If there are smaller companies, instead of having a bigger organization, they are having a co-sharing workplaces like WeWork, or there are different things where the office are shared by different company employees. Automated office, and the new concept is coming that companies will not give you laptop or mobiles. You bring your own device, whatsoever you like. For example, it is specifically a Generation Z. They may like an Apple iPhone or maybe Apple MacBook. So they may not be interested to use the Dell or some other iPad laptop, and that's why the companies are encouraging that, okay, whatsoever you want, bring your own devices. And that is giving a lot of flexibility to the people, to the employees in the organization. So we are already living with some trends here. If you see that artificial, and I will, if time permits, I will give you the demo actually how the certain jobs are at stakes. Professor jobs, journalist jobs, I think writers, authors. There is application which actually now is in a test where Elon Musk has invested. So artificial intelligence and deep learning, advanced machine learning and deep learning is changing, and it's deadly, I must tell you. Internet of Things, that almost 90% equipments in the world will be connected with the internet. So even your fridge, televisions are already internet of connected with IoTs, but even refrigerators where you store and then automatically it will be refilled. The direct there will be the order if there is less inventory in the refrigerator, but it will also track your consumption, your eating habits, your drinking habits, and that data may go to the insurance companies or health companies where they will make some selling proposition and product for you. Blockchain in cryptocurrency, but it is also used in organizations for supply chain management. Sensor technology, and of course additive printing, the automobile components, the plastic components, toys, even your artificial limbs, artificial ear, artificial human organs are started printed. Though it's the only matter of time where this becomes a cost effective, and that's why it's actually very important that what those future trends will have the impact on us. We need to understand that. So what are the main change drivers in the new workplace? So extreme longevity, rise of smart machines, computational world, new media ecology, superstructure organization, and globally connected world. These are the areas where we need to be a little bit, I will not say worried, but we need to change as per the situation, what's coming. And I always say that perhaps you or me may get retired after a few years, maybe after 5-10 years. But then it's very important for the student or the new generation that how actually they cope up with this fast changes happening in the society, in the world. This is one of the McKinsey's survey, which says that by 2030, intelligent agents and robots could eliminate as much as 30% world's human labor, displacing the job of many as 800 million people. That is the assumption made by McKinsey last year, that these robots, I will give a simple example that in my earlier organization, we had people working in an account department whose job were account payable. They used to pay the account, they used to transfer the money to the suppliers, to the vendors, to the employees, to the account payable people. And there were almost 7, 8 employees who was doing the same job, writing check or transferring the amount through bank, online, and all these things. Then comes the RP, automated model where you have to just put the barcode on the invoices, it is scanned, and then we implemented the payment factory. So the job, so if the invoice is okay and it matches against the your purchase order, and if you scan that code, the payment used to happen automatically. It started automatically happen. So all of a sudden, out of 6, 7, only 1 or 2 persons needed there to do their job. What these other next people will do? They lost their job. And if they have not learned any different skills, then that will be a major challenge, because there are a lot of jobs. There is a threat which will change over a period of time. And what are those jobs? What are the jobs that will disappear? So the job, what the trend says, there are jobs which are in a repetitive nature, which has a low efficiency, which are often unprofitable, simple to automate, and prone to fluctuating demand as per the seasonal demand of the product. And of course, less to medium impact on the business. The jobs will disappear. And why? Because those jobs are automated. Those jobs are being automated either through chatbots, robots, RPAs, and all these things, specifically in the organization. I have seen this trend happening for last 10 years where the organizations are implementing RPAs, which is process. In the processes, there is automation happening, and then a lot of jobs are disappearing. What does it means for us? It means that, does it mean that only low skill jobs will be disappear, or even high skill job will disappear? We really don't know what will the job, but this is one of the application which is just in a research phase, which is called Chat GPT. And if you can see on the screen, you can also test that. This application is based on the deep learning application. So machine learning, deep machine learning, where you can ask anything, and that application can write speeches for you, can write news. If you give the writer that, okay, hey, can you write a news for me on certain things? This application can write notes, write articles, even certain application even do the artistic work. I am trying this recently, and we have, and this application is not just copying and pasting that. This application, when you ask the question that, okay, hey, write an article on future of work, this application will actually go in detail, refer different material available, and then write article. So there is a precision, there is a right language use, all these things is there. The next step of this is when you are teaching somebody, or learning, where you may not need is a self-learning where you just ask the question and then you get an answer, and this is answer not from the Google. So this application is not based on the Google, I will say, but it refers. And I tried that. I tried to write news, and even you can write dramas, you can write stories, you can write imaginary conversations. So if you go there and you try that, hey, can you write an imaginary conversation between Mr. Modi and Mrs. Indira Gandhi? Or can you write an imaginary conversation when, King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj met Afzal Khan, and then what would have been the conversation there? And it writes the story. So you can be the author also. You don't need to apply your mind. So does this mean the low skill? I think it is also high skill. So that is also changing where high skill jobs is the possibility may disappear, because then if this is very disruptive, I will say, technology where the research is going on. Now the question comes here that is it ethical? Because the application will use different references. Are you giving them the royalty to whom you are referring? Are you giving the due credit to them? All these things. And then is it right? Because then you are taking a millennial job, number of jobs from the people who are authors, who are journalists, who want to be artists, who want to be professors, who are teaching and all these things, and you don't know what the job it will take. So deep learning is the situation, and perhaps most of the academicians know that it's replicates the brain. You know how the brain neuron and works. That's how the deep learning works. It is not about the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a little bit easy, and you still need a human intervention there. But here you don't need a human intervention. So it can be any job. Now, imagine with this all workplaces, you need a different skill set, but how the workplaces in 2030 look like? And perhaps most of us may not be worried about that, but think about 2030, maybe prepon by 2025. So we need to take care of these 4 types of workplaces. The emotional workplaces. So it is about the emotional aspect of work, about how the culture, how the well-being, how the social capital, how the trust capital of the organization is. So it is a softer part of the organization. And after the pandemic, it is becoming more crucial where you need to take care of the people, demonstrate empathy. So it's an emotional part of the workplace. And then it is bigger challenge because in hybrid model or work from home or virtual workplaces, how you demonstrate that emotional connections or emotional empathy. Second is about the physical workplace. The future of physical offices evolving roles and purpose, and whether we will even need offices in the future. That is a debate going on. But then again, there are pros and cons. But I see that physical workplaces will be needed because you need people to come together. After all, we are not robots, we are human beings. We have our emotional needs. We need to collaborate. We need to, and if those trends coming, automation and all this deep learning and machine learning is taking place, you need that creativity, innovation to drive those changes, because then it is not your day-to-day job. You have to think something differently, challenge those automated things. So you need a physical workplaces where you interact, you create new ideas and all these things. Technological workplace, how technology will foster new business models, ways to work and employee experience, because now major thing is not only about the employee experience. If you have a good employee experience, surely there will be the good customer experience. So customer delight or customer satisfaction we have heard, but now it is more on a customer experiences, that in a life cycle of the customer at each stage, how the experience they are getting. The first connect, prospect to order, what are those different things the organization need to look into. And that's why this technological workplace is becoming very important. That imagine the situation, passport offices in India, few years back and today, tremendous change. You just book the appointment on the virtually upload the document, book the appointment, go there, get a token, visit, and then your photographs and everything is done. And see the difference that the part of passport offices, which is outsourced to the IT company, and I think it is TCS, the behavior and the speed, and then you enter in the era where their government passport officers are sitting, it's totally different, right? They are doing very so, but the government also need to change that, and they will definitely change because that will be the demand from the to the society large. 4 is we can have the business, but then with this new generation coming in the workplace, how you are showing them the purpose, the purposeful workplace, like why we exist in the business. Is it our motive is only to have the profitability? So evolving ideas of leadership, organizational model, values and employee engagement, so that people will expect that I would like to work the organization where there is a purpose and it is aligned with my own purpose, my values, my philosophy. That is going to be important things going forward. So how we are creating that purposeful workplace. For example, our organizations say that we work for we would like to make the impact in the life of customer, people and planet, sustainability, people, values, ethics, all. And let's understand that the young generation are cautious about that usage of water or whatsoever they are using. minimalistic lifestyle, all these things, at least they started challenging with this. So the workplaces look like this in the future. What is emotional workplaces? So we have the culture of unity. A few years back, we used to focus more on productivity, unity, and all these things, team building and team and all this. But now it will be engagement, how the employee experience, and next will be culture of meaning. That okay, why I should, it is not only earning the salary, because why I should go to the office? Is it only for the job and earning the salary? Am I getting satisfied by what I'm doing? That questions people are asking nowadays. That okay, if they're not happy, they will walk out and they will have a lot of opportunities available. So that is the emotional workplace we need to think. So from employment, because earlier it was more on employment, but now it is about the purpose. So people are asking that okay, are those organizations ethical? Are those organizations are value based? So it is work less but work smarter rather than doing the hard work. With the technology and all these things, they are expecting clear processes and collaboration, and of course emotional dimensions of the job. In physical workplace, we have the office. We used to be as a utility, tool for the job, but now it is, today it is playful job, playful offices, collaborative space, project space, fika spaces, coffee break, and lot many spaces. But now in future it will be liquid offices. So it is about ample spaces for the distributed workplace. It look like that you go there and there are no dedicated workplaces. It may be hybrid. You come in the office, or if you don't want to, it's okay, you don't come in the office. But ultimately it is about representation of the employees, that okay, it is about the values of the organization, the culture of the organization, the DNA of the organization need to be there. And that's why the organization are becoming more human centric. So it is again employment to the purpose for the organizations. Technology, the idea is king, data is king. We say that data is new oil, but idea is also king now. Because then if you imagine the situation that your small jobs and your day-to-day jobs is going to automate it, we need to bring the job which adds value more. So lifelong learning, mentoring, changing narrative about the around the workplace, about the automation, ethical dilemmas, all these things will come into the picture. The jobs of tomorrow do not yet exist. I will say it is a learning and it is a evaluation. I also don't know, or we may not be aware, because few jobs are already there, but certain jobs will also, new jobs will come. So expert, generalist, and hyper specialist. So it means that there may be the possibility of jobs who are expert generalistic, means handling 2-3 jobs and are the expert, but also the hyper specialist, like for the person who is a purely a data scientist or the expert in machine learning, or the person is expert in designing the virtual reality for the customers. And of course, the next era in the technology workplaces is about ideas. So it is idea economy and entrepreneurship rather than having the jobs, I will say careers and all this. So you have a good idea, you come and you implement the organization. You have a good idea, go to the market, start your startup company. Entrepreneurship is becoming more, and we have seen this trend. There are every year there are a lot of startups, and government is also giving a lot of funds, and they are funding to the entrepreneurs. And few of them successful, maybe not be successful, few of them, but then still they are trying. So this ideas is becoming more prominent going forward. So next economy is not about the all this stuff, but the next economy will totally dependent upon what the new and creative ideas are in the market. Purposeful, of course, the role modeling, walk the talk, because it's like a children following their parents. It is a purpose driven, that okay, don't tell me what to do, tell me why I should do this. And that sort of questions are already asked even in my team also. The young generation is asking this question, that okay, I would like to do that, but why? The soft power of the organizations is a purpose driven, that okay, what is the purpose of the organization? To us, new measure success, is it earning more money is the success, having a big offices, having the big home, lavish cars, luxury cars, all this is a success? Or what is the success? So there are definitions are changing. The young kids, They may not be interested with this materialistic position, but they are looking forward something, making the impact to the society, making the impact. Maybe, what differently they can do. And that's why they are taking risk to be entrepreneurs. So there is a new measure of success. There is a new definition of success. Embed purpose in everything you do. Whatsoever you are doing, there are questions that why is the question. The orchestral manager, the conductor. So it's not a manager who is actually managing, supervising. It is the role of in music, opera. There is a conductor. The manager's role is becoming more as a conductor rather than the manager. And of course, give them the freedom to them, empower them so that they do their best work. So if you go forward, what is the one common thing you see? If you read on the screen, there are different titles: chief fund officer, driverless car engineer, elder care male nurse, drone operator, blogger, content creator, all this. You see the HR business partner, and HR business partner, I mean that not today in the market what the people give the title, but as a role. You have a market intelligence manager, cloud computing, and all these things. So this list, what is a similarity in this? And one of the similarities, these all roles were not there 10 years back. If you see, these roles were not there. And similarly, though with this automation and all these things, the roles will made redundant or the eliminated, there will be new roles coming in the process. I think creative idea maker, for example, collaborator, all these things, and you can find out the list from the McKinsey or World Economic Forum report that what are these new skills coming into that. Now, to handle this, we don't need a traditional skill set. All those traditional skill set like leadership, of course, is important. Those communication skill, analytical skills, all are fundamental skills. Now it is already there, people. If you ask the student, they are being a leader, empathetic, all this thing is there. So you don't need actually, think about that much. But what is the differentiator? Because to survive in this dynamic world, we need to differentiate our skills and to grow in the organization. And those capabilities for the new workplace are these are certain areas where, based on the research, like sense making or situation sensing, which is ability to determine the deeper meaning of significance of what is being expressed. Second is social intelligence. Social intelligence and cross-cultural competency are similar, that we are dealing with different people, but it is also that our ability to connect with others in a deep and direct way and sense and stimulate reactions and desired outcome through the interactions. Adaptive thinking, novel and adaptive thinking. So it is about the proficiency at thinking and coming up with the solution and response beyond that which is a root or rule based. It's not about a rule based or process. That okay, can I take a holistic approach to the problems and come up with the solution which is novel, which is actually a holistic solution rather than just process based solution, or rather than conventional and traditional solution? Can I come with the solution which is totally different? Because that solution is a differentiator which will have the impact. Because today, every business, they are not selling product. They are not selling product. For example, mobile companies are not selling mobile handset. Automobile companies are not selling automobile companies. We at Alfa Laval are not selling our equipment. We are selling the value. We are selling the solution. We are selling the emotions. All the businesses are selling that. And that needs a total adaptive, and that is going to play a major role as a differentiator. Computational thinking, so ability to translate the huge data in abstract concept and then understand that database reasoning, is a Peter Senge, who is who wrote a book that he says that there is a big data, then it can be converted into different tables, and there is a hierarchy of data. Everybody knows that, and finally it is data can be converted into knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom, like that. So that way, how you are going to the meaning to the data. New media literacy is very important, because usage of social in the organizations, we have internal social media. How we are communicating, collaborative virtual collaboration is happening through the to the social media. Facebook, they have their applications for the organizations. Transdisciplinary, so it is about not only in one area but also thinking about the other area. So it is about learning and literacy in an ability to understand concept across multiple disciplines. So if I am a finance manager, I need to understand how HR work. If I'm a HR professional, I need to understand how finance works, how the marketing works, all these things. So transdisciplinary is going to make a major role. Design mindset, of course, cognitive load management. With this lot of data and with this lot overload of data, we need to understand exactly what is relevant data. We need to differentiate, discriminate that data, filter that information, and actually get a maximum output from that, so that our brain process for the right tool and usage of that for the right tools and technique. And of course, virtual collaboration is going to be a major role. So finally, it is about, it's about not only the future, but how we create the future. It's one of the major things. There is a statement or saying that, better way to create a future. So with this all, I think it is very important to understand what are those trends, what is the impact of those trends in our life. You can't avoid the space of the changes happening in the world, but at least we can learn that what that place means to be. And having said that, there may be something reason somebody may think that, okay, why I should run in the race? Maybe I spend more time. So finally, I would like to say, though with this coming with the technology, with the virtual, all these things, our humanity, our human interactions, our human values will not change. Still we need a people, I think more people who are, strong network, we have good ideas coming, who has a design mindset, who can collaborate easily, who can demonstrate the empathy. Those people we need in any organization nowadays. So it is bringing the people together finally, because then in this, all the processes and technologies, somebody needs to drive this positively. And that's how the bringing, I will say that material things, all these materialistic things, bringing together and combining with the spirituality, where most of the in leadership fundamentals and leadership also nowadays, there is a course that what is self-realization, self-reflection, all these things what we have in Indian scriptures and Indian mythology, that is being taught. In fact, understand what the emotional intelligence is. It is already there. But, we actually recognize that when it is coming from the West. So that's why very important that our culture, our things will still have the, importance in that, because finally it is aligning with our own purpose. And the purpose is finding the happiness and having the meaningful life going forward. This technology and all these things not necessarily bring the meaningful lives, but can help you to make life easy. We need to understand that this all is a tool, and we don't need to put them in the center. We need to put in the center is the human being, and then how this technology and all this working trend is going to help them. That is going to be there. So we need not to worry about that, how many jobs will be displaced, but we need to be positive that, okay, we are conscious, but we need to understand that there are a lot of possibilities available in the world. So this world is of the possibilities, and we should live with these possibilities going forward. Thank you very much for listening me. I have done my job completing within 35 minutes, I think.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this excellent session. It was certainly rich in information, a lot of knowledge gain. Indeed, very insightful, sir. Thank you so much. Just to brief, I think you focused on the various trends imparting the work and the workforce. You spoke on the global trends, the technology-based trends, workforce trends, workplace trends, and you also highlighted on the fact that the new generation must cope up with the changes and the challenges. You highlighted on various jobs that will disappear and how the workplace will be in 2030. So with this, I just have to give one set of guidelines to the participants that the feedback link will be shared with you, and this form will be available in for next 15 minutes only. You are all requested to fill in the feedback form. On filling up, you will be able to receive your e-certificates. online. Before that, sir, there are a lot of questions, a few questions that we can take from the participants. I think one of the questions that was posted was more technology, more problems. If you could kindly comment on this statement, sir.
Yeah, we have seen that when we started the presentation. My screen went blank and I have to shut down.
Yes.
We need to understand that technology is not the final output or final goal or final aim. Technology is there to support you. So yes, technology, more problem, but that is the future, and that is we are adapting to that. The new way of working, the new way of teaching. For example, for you during the COVID, what you did a wonderful job, all the professors and academicians, I think. So there is a 50-50 that if we have a high learning ability or learning agility, then there are no problem, because sometimes I also get a little bit disturbed when something comes, when some patch comes, but then when you learn that, it seems to be easy. So it is finally adaptability. We can't avoid this change. Like, earlier we used to use the telephone. Now you are mobile, and if you change the mobile from Android to iPhone, it seems to be complicated. But then over a period of time, you start using that easily. So it is about the adaptability and our learning aptitude, how we do that, I think. But always keep in mind, technology should be for our benefit.
Correct.
We should not be for the technology.
So it is basically the willingness of an individual also, how he takes up the technology.
Yeah.
Any more questions? The request that I'm receiving on the chat box is if you could share your PPT, sir.
I will share. No problem. It's the knowledge, so I will definitely share.
All right, sir. So this will be posted to the AIMS authorities for the course of action. Any more questions? Or I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
If you could comment on the very new trend, the new thing that we talk about, that is moonlighting, is future of work. If you could kindly express your viewpoints from Indian perspective.
Yeah. So I think moonlighting is not new. We are using this terminology in India. You imagine the situation where during work hours we are doing a trading of the shares, most of the things, that is also moonlighting. Or for example, if I am there, I am coming from the colleges and taking some lecture is also moonlighting. I think it is about the ethical things, that what is right and what is wrong we need to understand. Provided there is no loss to the organization and there is no conflict of interest to the organization, few organizations are allowing that. Definitely, they say if it is not, your total business is totally different, because one of the understanding is that employees are hired only for 8 hours.
That's
we
right.
have a life of 24 hours. So what we do there? But again, it's a ethical things that, okay, if the business, and there are few people who are doing the job and also doing the business, that is also a moonlighting. But then if it is not a conflict of interest to the organization, definitely it is a ethical. And if you disclose that, important thing is disclosing to the organization that, okay, I am going to, I have my business. And most of the multinational organization, when any employee joins, we have to disclose that, okay, I'm on these professional bodies. My wife or my family members have these businesses, and it is not a conflict of interest to the organization. So as a human being and as a professional, we need to go to the ethical side of the moonlighting, I think so.
All right, so ethics certainly plays a very important role. I think one more question, sir, that whether AI replaces teaching jobs.
Artificial intelligence will not replace the teaching job, because artificial intelligence will help you teachers to teaching the jobs. But deep machine learning, and I have given the link, try this chat GPT. Yeah. If this goes in the next level, provided in California, there is a research going on where you have an interactive board which can be displayed in the classroom, and student can ask any question to that board, and then this board will actually give you the information. It is similar that Alexa or Google assistant, which actually you ask, play the music or give me the like that. But if it is goes to the deep learning or deep machine learning, then perhaps we have to find out a different way of teaching, because still student will have need a human connect, because why the professor, why we meet each other, that is because their personal things, their personal challenges, the customization of the learning ability of different student, all these things that can't be replaced by the machine learning, I think.
Thank you. I think we are beyond the prescribed time limit. So with this, I would probably close this particular session, sir. Before closing, let me express my gratitude. So at the outset, would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Vinod Bidwaik, sir,
for my pleasure.
For his valuable time and sharing indeed very informative, knowledge sharing, insightful information to the participants. I am sure it is of great learning to one and all present over here. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the president of AIMS, Dr. Nandagopal sir, and the AIMS secretary. I would also like to thank Dr. Ganesh Rao sir for his continuous encouragement and motivation and guidance. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sunil Joshi sir for coordinating this entire session, and I would also like to express sincere gratitude to all the audience present online as well as on the YouTube platform. Thank you for their overwhelming participation and making this session a grand success. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bidwaik sir, once again. Thank you, one and all. Thank you all.